This conference is being recorded. All callers are muted.
Well, hello, everyone, and happy Monday. And I want to say happy Veterans Day to all of the veterans. We thank you for your service, and we appreciate all that you do for our country. So I hope this day was a great day for you. Today is November the 11th, 2013. I want to welcome you to Lesbrown's Monday Night Motivation with world-renowned motivational speaker, speech coach, and best-selling author, Les Brown. And for those of you that have joined us before, you know that this is your place for motivation, inspiration, and empowerment. I am Anita Hicks, your host, motivational speaker, life coach, and business trainer. Thank you so much for investing in yourself and joining us each and every Monday night. After the call, you will get an opportunity to hear how you can stay connected with us 7 days of the week. So after Mr. Brown gives his presentation tonight, stay connected so that you will hear those announcements. But now it is time for the man of the hour. Hey, Les, how are you?
I'm doing better than good, better than most, and sometimes even better than that. I'm hungry.
I know you are. Hey, Les, welcome back. It is so good to hear your voice.
And listen, it is great to be back. I've been on 4 continents in the last month, and among the places I've been to Johannesburg, South Africa. I've been to Poland, Auschwitz. I've been to Amsterdam. In fact, while in Poland, I went to Auschwitz. And before I go into this, let me say happy Veterans Day to all the veterans, to the men and women around the world and in our country that sacrifice and give their all to protect our freedom. We honor you, we salute you, and we just want to express our gratitude. My twin brother Wesley served in Vietnam. He was wounded in Vietnam, and I talked to him early this morning, and we just say, we hope that you had a great day, you and your family and friends. I've just been traveling, and it's really been a great experience being in London, England, being in Poland. I read the book called Man's Search for Meaning, and it was by Viktor Frankl. And so in going to Poland, I had to go to Auschwitz because he was there. This place to me was the setting, was one of the places that the worst catastrophe in the history of the world took place. I went to the prison camps. I went to this place where Jews were brought there. Over 70% were exterminated, and the 30% that were healthy were given backbreaking work. Men, women, and children who were executed. For what reason? Because they were Jews. I went into the gas chambers that they told the men, women, and children that there were showers, and they shaved their hair off their heads. I saw in this prison camp where they had over 2 tons of hair that they'd shaved off their heads, they said, to clean them of lice. I saw the clothes. I saw the personal belongings. And then we went into this place where they told them that they were going to take showers, and they had rigged them with gas. And this room was dark. It was an eerie feeling, especially coming down the hall and seeing the faces of the men, the women, and the children in this prison camp. And then right outside of this gas chamber, they had a crematory where they cremated them, and they were killing the Jews so quickly they were backed up. They couldn't cremate them fast enough. I saw the execution wall. I stood there. It was speechless. It was the most gut-wrenching, heartbreaking experience I'd ever had. And as I recall the words of Viktor Frankl, and he says, man's search for meaning, the Jews that were able to survive the inexpressible cruelties of Nazism, ones either believe in God, or 2, had some cause that they believed in that was bigger than themselves, or 3, had some goal that they wanted to reach, or some loved one that they wanted to see. And that gave them the mental stamina and resiliency to hold on during this dehumanizing experience. And today, on Veterans Day, today after being there, when I left, I could not talk. It was something that takes your breath away. It numbs your mind to believe that the world stood by and watched millions of people be exterminated merely because they were Jews. And I want to talk to you today about making a mark. I want to talk to you about having a sense of purpose. I want to talk to you about making a difference with your life. I want to talk to you about the sacrifices that people have made and things that people have gone through. I'm thinking about the words of James Weldon Johnson, who said, "Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We've come over a way that with tears has been watered. We've come treading a path through the blood of the slaughtered." One of the things is, as I look at my life and as we look at this year and look into 2014, one of the things that's most important, I think more than anything, is that every day we should ask ourselves, am I living? Am I living fully? I give a speech called Live Full, Die Empty. Am I doing all that I can? At this stage of my life, all kind of rumors circulating about my health. My son Calvin called me and said, "Daddy, people are asking, are you still going to be able to coach people because they're hearing rumors about your health?" Well, let me just make some things very clear. I've been fighting cancer for 17 years. And I want you to become clear, I do not, if I had allowed myself to buy into all the negative things that have been said about me, including what doctors said about me, I would not be here. See, I've come to know that many people die, more people die from a doctor's prognosis than from the disease itself. And I do not believe that if you are facing any kind of challenge, just as I've been dealing with for 17 years, they said it's metastasized. Ask me, does that mean anything to me? All of us are going to go at some times. I'm going to be here a long time. None of us know when we're going to leave here. Nobody's figured out how to get out of life alive. When things happen to you, you have to take them on. I'm not going to go around being depressed. I'm not going to go someplace sitting in a corner waiting for death to come tap me on the shoulder. No. I'm going to live full. I'm going to make my mark. On November the 6th, I would have celebrated the 107th birthday of Mrs. Mamie Brown, who adopted me and my twin brother and 5 other children. My mother taught me how to fight. My mother taught me the value of faith. My mother taught me the value of believing in God. My mother taught me the value of standing up for yourself. And as you look at your life and look at your goals and look at your dreams, my mother taught me the value of living life in your power. I remember the lady from the hospice organization, when my mother took her last breath, she said she shadowed the ground that she stood on. Mamie Brown, 3rd grade education, adopted 7 kids at age 46, single mother, and raised her. She shadowed the ground that she stood on. She made her mark, and I'm her baby boy. And I'm saying to you, everybody's got something to deal with. A guy named Dimples wrote a song called "If It Ain't One Thing, It's Another." And let me share something with you. As you look at your life and look at your goals and dreams, what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. I don't focus on problems. I don't focus on sickness. I focus on health. I focus on the things that I need to do that will allow me to live a life that has quality, that has adventure, that has meaning, and that has value. Most people, when they die, after 3 or 4 weeks, people stop talking about them. Why? Because their lives were so insignificant. Because they weren't doing anything. I was on a plane and heard a lady say she saved up money for 2 years for her husband to get a tattoo. That was her contribution to life. She was able to save enough money so her husband could get a tattoo. Think about that. Let me share this with you. Ask yourself, if you look at your life right now, and one of the things I had to do when I was in Milwaukee and the plane had to make an emergency landing when I had some challenges. And I remember this young fellow came on board of the plane and said, "Hey, you, mister, I know you. You are that motivational guy." You know, Brendan Bouchard and I spoke with this group this past week. He said, when you get ready to go, the questions that one should ask oneself is, number one, did I live? Did I live? Did I truly live? See, most people die at age 21 and don't get buried until they're 65. Most people never go beyond their neighborhood. Only 5% of Americans travel around the world. And then so you got to ask yourself, did I live? Did I do all I can do? Did I use all my talents, all my abilities, all my skills? I like what Miles Monroe said out of the Bahamas. The wealthiest place on the planet is not in the Far East. It's not in South Africa where there's diamonds. It's not in the Far East where there's oil in the ground. He said the wealthiest place on the planet is the cemetery. The cemetery. There are people that you find who have gifts and talents and abilities that the world never heard from. Maybe that's why the poet wrote the words that many a flower has bloomed unceasingly and wasted sweetness upon the cold desert air. As you look at your goals and look at your dreams, you have to ask yourself, am I living? Am I doing all that I can do? Am I really making an impact? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, making an impact. At the end of the day, it's about making a mark. At the end of the day, it's about leaving a legacy. On November the 6th, Mamie Brown would have been 107th. And then my granddaughter, on this past few days, on November the 6th, my granddaughter, Nyasha, gave birth to my great-great-grandson on November the 6th, on Mamie Brown's birthday. Brought new life in the world. It was as if my mother was sending me a signal from the other side. Son, you might die with cancer, but you won't die from cancer. Keep the faith. Keep on working. Keep on living your purpose. Keep on living from your power. Keep on using your voice and running your mouth like I did. I used to tell you to shut up, but I'm proud of you now. On November the 6th, I began to become a great-great-grandfather. So in my 69th year on the planet, I can tell you, I look at my life, and the question is, have I lived? Number one. Number two, did I give? Was I servant? Did I make a difference? Did I make an impact? And the third thing that you got to ask yourself, did I leave anything behind? Will people think about me and have some good stories about me? Did I contribute? Did I make a difference in some people's life? Did I give some people some hope? Did I inspire some people? My teacher, Mr. Leroy Washington, I called him the other day. He's in his 90s now. He's blind from glaucoma, a man who spoke and said, young man, someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. The man who spoke to me, and up to that point, I was called the dumb twin. I was labeled educable, mentally retarded. But when this man spoke, when he spoke, I felt he was talking to me. When he spoke, I could feel his voice in my mind, in my heart, in my spirit. When he spoke, as I looked at him, I've never known my father, but he became like a surrogate father. As he spoke, I used to say, oh, God, I would love to be able to speak like him. When he spoke, I looked at him, and I hung on every word that he said. And I'm sure he's been proud of me, and I called him the other day, and he didn't know my voice. He didn't know my voice. He didn't know my voice. He has Alzheimer's now. And I thought about this thing called life. I thought about it as I was coming back from overseas. I was thinking about all of us are going to go at some point in time. And sometimes our minds and our bodies break down, and we're between life and death. And I was asking myself, how do I want to spend the rest of my time? I'm in L.A., and when I think about young people today, when I turn on the news or look in the newspaper and the violence that's going on, when I see young people, when I'm in Liberty City or when I'm in Atlanta, the place where Dr. King was born and raised and started his movement, and see young people all tattooed up, young men walking down the street with their pants below their butts, with their heads up in the air, daring you to say anything to you with no sense of dignity and respect for themselves. I said, this happened on my watch, and I don't believe that God has kept his hand on my life and protected me from cancer just to help those who have get more. I don't believe that God has protected my life over these 17 years since I've had cancer, but cancer didn't have me, for me to continue to be able to be a voice for change and give people hope and an example that they are more powerful than cancer. I don't believe that he kept me here just to go out and speak and put some money in my pocket and just take care of me and mine. I believe I'm here to serve. And I believe that's all of us. He said, the greatest among you will be your servant. I believe that we have to look at our lives, and yes, we've got to provide for ourselves and provide for our families, and we've got to ask ourselves, what difference can I make? What is it that I can do? Who is it that I can spend some time with and pour into them as Mr. Washington used to pour into me, as he would pick me up at Booker T. Washington High School and drive me home and sit in the car and talk to me and tell me things and explain to me what it meant to be a man and talk to me about why it's very important that you dress with respect and dress like a prospect rather than a suspect, why it was important to be able to develop your vocabulary, and that once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are, that it's important that you drill your mind and train your mind, that you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. This man who had children himself, but he talked to me, and his children did not hear his voice like I heard his voice. His children looked at me and wondered, why is he all flipped out over Daddy? Daddy ain't all that. No, they didn't hear the man that I heard. It's a very interesting thing how people in your own household don't even have appreciation for who you are and what you bring to the planet. And I say to you, as you look at yourself and look at your goals and dreams, get what you can, where you can, from whomever you can. Learn from all the people in your life, because all of us, if we look hard enough, all of us will find someone that can help us go to the next level. And that's what I was looking for when I was in Liberty City and Overtown. I was looking for a way out. I didn't want to be in jail. I didn't want to die in the streets of Liberty City and Overtown. I had goals and dreams of buying my mother a home. What do you want? I had goals and dreams of not working for the Miami Sanitation for the rest of my life and smelling and lifting that stinking garbage. I had goals and dreams of being more than a janitor and an orderly at Jackson Memorial Hospital. What is it you want? How do you want to make your life show up? What kind of impact do you want to make with your life? Because here's what I know about you, and I don't know you. You've got greatness in you. You've got potentials and abilities to do things that you can't even begin to imagine. Here's what I know. You're going to go through some things. Life's going to happen to you. Things will catch you on the blind side. It's going to be challenging. You're going to have a lot of defeats. You're going to have a lot of failures. You're going to have a lot of setbacks. I went through all of that. I slept on the floor of the Penobscot building in Detroit, Michigan. I bathed in the sink down the hall with Larry DeAngie and my best friend Boo, who's dead now. But spirit is in me. He read over me when I was asleep at night. He was up reading scripture, and those scriptures are in me. When I get up and speak, I can recite scriptures and don't even know when they're going to come in my mind, because he traveled with me and he kept me spiritually. I'm saying to you, don't let things turn you around. Don't let the defeats and disappointments and the setbacks in life discourage you. Stuff's going to happen to you. It was one Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, what lies before you and what lies behind you is of small consequence to what lies within you. Life is challenging. It can be tough sometimes. You know, Robert Schuller said, tough times never last, but tough people do. Anybody can make it and feel good and be positive when you have your health. Your marriage is working out. Your children acting like they have good sense. You got money in the bank. Your bills are paid. Oh, anybody can have faith then. Anybody can say, oh, the Lord is good. Yeah, anybody can do it then. But let me tell you something. When life happens, when the phone rings, and someone you love, someone you care about has been hurt, when life happens, when you give your all on a job, and they come to you and say, we thank you for your services, but we're going in another direction. That's a different game. That's different. That's a different experience. Hello? Anita, are you still there? Anita?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening to you.
Oh, I thought I was cut off. I heard a sound.
No, I'm listening to every word, and everybody else is too. We are listening to every word.
Okay, good. Well, let me keep on. All right. I said it's easy. It's easy to have faith in. And there are people. There are people who are laughing at me. There are people who are envious and saying, "Look at it. Well, he's a motivator. What are you going to do now? He got cancer. I've had it for 17 years, but it does not have me. I eat more rabbit food. I feel like a silly rabbit, as Dwight Pledger would call me. Eat so many carrots and oh my Lord, and asparagus and broccoli, and taking so many vitamins and herbs and praying and chanting Nomi Yoho Renge Kyo, doing Tai Chi and yoga. Let me tell you something. If death gonna catch me, he's got to have on some tennis shoes and run fast. Now, let me tell you something. I'm stronger than ever I've ever been, and I'm faster than I've ever been. Let me tell you something. Young brooms lead clean, but old brooms know where to go. So as you look at your life and look at your goals, you got to ask yourself, what do I want to do now? What do you really want right now? Do you realize we're living in the greatest time in the history of the world? Do you realize that we're living in a time that we know anything is possible? Anything is possible. If you don't believe it, just say Barack. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. This is a time to be creative. I just came from a restaurant in Playa Vista called Picnics and talking with two sisters, one from Atlanta and one from Liberty City that used to listen to me when I was on WEDR radio station. And one does social media, and the other one puts together systems and teach you how to conduct and run your business, teach you how to create non-performance income. She said, lesbrown, what I'm going to share with you beginning 2014, and I'll share it with you and the people that you work with so that you don't have to go on planes and go from hotel to hotel, that you can switch 95% of your revenue that you make it from online courses, and you can spend your time working on yourself and continue to kick cancer's natural behind. And then I talked to this other son, one named Makiva Walker, and the other one is named Barbara. And then she does social media, and I'm going to be training people across the country how to tell their story and how to use social media and how to use systems and technology where you can earn money from home on your couch. It's a new game. Things have changed. It's a new game. The rules have changed. The day is gone where you can go to college and graduate and expect to get a job and work for 40 hours a week for 40 years. Now, when you develop the skills that I'm talking about and develop a belief in yourself, you can go and tap your boss on the shoulder and say, excuse me, but I'm going in another direction. I'm taking control of my own life. I'm hiring myself. I'm signing my own check. See, you wouldn't want to be you. I'm controlling my own destiny. That's what life is about. You're made in the likeness and image of God, and you've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth. Anybody can say, yes, I can, and yes, I will, when all the cards are stacked on your side of the table. Oh, but when you get a hand that you did not anticipate, when life kicks you on the blind side, what you going to do now? Yeah, what you going to do now, Mr. Motivator? What you going to do now? I know what it's like not to be able to pay your bills. I know what it's like to hide your car so they can't pick it up. Can't do that no more. They got GPS. Isn't that something? I think that's a shame. I used to be a state legislator. I ought to run for office, and I'm going to outlaw GPSs. Look here, I learned a long time ago, the best way to get back on your feet is to miss 3 car payments. You can't even hide the car. Years ago, I would park my car at Boo's house, and he would park his car at my house. Now, wherever you drive the car, they can find the car. Something wrong with that. Something wrong with that. That ain't right. No, invading my privacy. You don't need to know where I am with that car. It ain't none of your stinking business. Just because I haven't paid you yet. I'm sorry my medication ran off. I'm so sorry. It's something about traveling abroad. But anyhow, I'm saying to you, you're stronger than you realize. I'm saying to you that you've got to stretch yourself. If you go to the gym and work out and you don't feel any discomfort the next day, you haven't done anything. This is the age for thinkers. This is the age for people that are resourceful. This is the day that people are being creative and relentless and have mindsets of achievement. This is a day that you want to get away from flaky people that all they want to do is sit around and wonder what the next episode of Scandal is going to be about. This is the age where you want to be around people who have goals and dreams and being creative and using technology and putting systems together to create wealth and control their destiny and create jobs. No. It's a great time. It's an incredible time. You got to be fired up and ready to go. That's what time it is. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, man, you know, I can't find a job. Create one then, if you can. That's what you need to do. It's a new day. It's a new day. What's your purpose? What's your reason for being here? You know, George Bernard Shaw said years ago, we should establish a tribunal where people should come once a year and give a reason on why they should be allowed to live for the next year. Whoa. I can see some of these sperm donors coming with their pants below the butt. Well, you know, I got some children out there I haven't done anything for. But if I had it, I'd give it to you. I ain't got nothing. Here, take that head off right now. Let me tell you something. We got too many sorry, trifling people that's spending time and energy sucking up oxygen, occupying space, and not doing anything but complaining. There's never been a statue erected to a critic. And I say to you, thank you for listening. You know why you're listening to me? Because you know you're different. You know why you're listening to me? Because there's something in you that says this can't be as good as it gets. You know why you're listening to me? Because there's a part of you that wants to be free. The true you, the truth of you, the powerful you, the greatness in you that wants to live on a bigger level, that wants to create a bigger life. I admire you for that. You're different. You're uncommon. It's lonely at the top, I can tell you that. All your friends and family members won't understand. It's lonely at the top, but you eat better. me tell you something. Up in here. Oh, behave, whatever. He didn't go crazy. His medication is worn off. My God, the motor invader is back. Mindy Brown's baby boy is loose. Yes, I am. I'm loose up in here, about to make me lose my mind. Up in here talking about me. Anyhow, you have something special. You're listening to me because you got some goals. You got some dreams. There's something in your heart. You're pregnant with possibility. There are goals that you want to achieve. Yes. You've had some disappointments. Yes. You've had some setbacks, but they don't define you. No. They strengthen you. They build your character. They expand your vision. They ignite something in you that make you get up and say, it's not over until I win. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. Happy Veterans Day. God bless you. God bless your dream. And God bless the day you were born. Nita Boo?
Thank you, Les. You are definitely back. Les Brown, Mamie Brown's baby boy, is back 200%, a double point. Yes. You are
whoa,
strong.
Yeah.
Nita, I'm getting the fire extinguisher, girl.
Yes, you are strong. You are back. Les, that was powerful.
Yeah.
Your setbacks do not define you. I like that.
No. And I want to thank Candace for coming on. Now, that young sister, 25 years old, former Marine. And did she not do a good job when she was on the call?
Les, she tore it up. I was so inspired and so motivated. I'm still getting people calling me and talking to me about her message because she was so authentic. She came on. She had just left a training, and she came on and just gave a powerful motivational message. She spoke from her heart, and she left it all on the table. 20-something years young. And she is
25 years
that.
young. And she's hungry.
She's hungry. And listen, she doesn't make any excuses. She just goes for it. She's telling these young people she's young herself. She's not accepting any excuses. She's not making any. And she's not taking any prisoners.
No. Let me tell you something I'm going to do. Yeah, you know something I'm going to do? What I'm going to do, I'm going to train some more young people like them. I met some brothers today who, between the 5 of them, they had perhaps spent well over 70 years in jail. And I'm going to do some training with ex-inmates, ex-offenders. I'm going to do some training in Liberty City. I'm going to go to Detroit. I'm going to do some training there. I'm going to do some Chicago. See, they're killing people like crazy in Detroit. You know what it is? It's a mindset. Same thing in Chicago. Same thing in Liberty City and Overtown. It's a mindset. Let me tell you the master key to changing things. Number one, it's mindset. It's what we're talking about. We got too much head trash. It's mindset. Number two, we have to upgrade our skill set. We can, with the computer, you can go on YouTube. You can learn how to swim. You can learn how to build a page on the internet. You can learn how to build your own Facebook, your own website. You can learn how to read. You can learn anything on YouTube. The next thing is, it's about putting together collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. We have an entertainment-driven culture. We need an achievement-driven culture where people are not worried about, will the Heat make it this year, or will the Lakers have a better season? No. Will you have a better life? Hey, brother, what can I do to help you out? I said to these two sisters, let me know what I can do to help you get people on your webcast, teaching them social media. Let me know, Makiva, what I can do that you can teach people, and I can help you get people to teach them systems of how to create non-performance income. Let me know, Alicia and Lorette, what I can do to help you take your business to the next level. That's what we need to be finding out, not about the next episode of Scandal, and I do enjoy it. Yes, I do. Oh, come on. Let's be real. No, I watch Scandal. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I watch Scandal with my shades on and a hat, so y'all can catch me.
It's you and the rest of the world. Hey, Les, Candace was telling a story about how these young people were saying, okay, they're 16, 17 years old, and just because they have a criminal record, they're looking at their life being over at 16, 17, 18. How can your life be over just because one
That's
mistake?
right.
One mistake.
Well, let me tell you why. Because they're suffering from possibility blindness for the same reason that I didn't do what I'm doing now for 14 years. I didn't believe that me, as a black man, could develop myself as an intellectual resource. Me, as a former disc jockey on WVKO in Columbus, Ohio. Me, as a former community activist and a disc jockey on WEDR radio station in Miami, Florida, in Liberty City. I didn't believe that I had the ability to develop myself into an intellectual resource to be hired by AT&T, Procter & Gamble, and McDonald's Corporation. Mike Williams saying, Les Brown, you're more than a disc jockey. You're more than a fast-talking disc jockey. You're not just a man about town going down to the Jamaica Club or Mount Vernon Avenue in Columbus, Ohio. You have the ability to travel around the world. See, one of the things that you've got to do today, you've got to get somebody in your life that can see what you can't see. He said, I'll give you all your eyes can see. I couldn't see this life. When I travel internationally, they're paying me $95,000 an hour. Recession, give me a break. When I speak here, they've paid me $25,000 an hour. I don't tell you this to impress you. I tell you this to impress upon you, that you can do this. I will teach you how to do this if you're willing to invest in yourself. Why don't you give it to me? Because there's no free lunch. Go up to Jay-Z when he comes to town and Kanye West and say, give me a free ticket. You don't even think about it. You'll buy those tickets. You'll buy that reefer because you buy what you want and beg for what you need.
That's right. Absolutely.
No, the more you pay attention. So, our job, as we look at ourselves, but for the grace of God, there goes I.
Yeah.
There are periods in my life, Stacy and Anita, that I was insane. I was crazy. And thought I had the sense. So I have compassion for. What if Mike Williams had not spoken to me? Mike Williams from Coshocton, Ohio, who's been my mentor for 44 years. What if Mr. Washington had not taken time with me? What if Dr. Anthony Sweeting had not worked with me? He was my hero when I was in school. What if Boo, who has now gone on the other side and is an angel looking over me and has protected me along with Mamie Brown and my nephew Wesley Brown Jr. from death until I get my work done, I would not be here had it not been for those people who loved me, who believed in me, and loved me beyond my faults, loved me with all my imperfections, and told me, Leslie, you have something special. We're here because of God's grace and mercy. And I said, after leaving Dr. Monk in Columbus, Ohio, getting on the plane, going to my next speaking engagement, going to Baltimore this week, then I go back to Johannesburg, South Africa. I said, I ain't got time to die now, Lord. I got some work to do. I'm a great-great-grandfather. Some of these pants going to be pulled up before I leave here. Some of these young men and women, rather than going out to buy a tattoo, we're going to start buying some books and expanding and educating their minds and developing some skills and developing their vision and learn how to dress like a prospect rather than a suspect and learn how to clean up their language and learn how to become respectful. Some of these young men will learn how to be a father rather than a sperm donor. Some of these young girls will learn how to be young, respectable ladies like Michelle Obama rather than allowing themselves to be used as a receptacle for a man's orgasm. Before I leave here, I'm going to turn this place out. Before I leave here, I'm going to train some others because success without successors is failure. Oh, I feel like running through the wall right now. The door's too small to hold me. I want to throw a chair up against the wall, but I don't want to pay for the repairs.
Well, Les,
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I feel my mother's spirit. That's my mama used to beat us like this. She said, "This hurts me worse than it does me." I said, "No, it doesn't, Mama." But somebody needs this tonight.
They sure do,
Okay.
Les.
How?
Okay.
Do you want to open up the call? You want to speak to some of the listeners?
Yes, yes, I do. But before I do that, now do you know where I'm going to be this week? I know I'm going to be in Baltimore. I'm doing that.
Do you know?
You know what's happening, and tell them about Honors Radio. Tell them about Honors Radio show, and also tell them what Andy is doing. And Dwight has an event coming up, but he hasn't got a date yet. And I've got a young lady that's going to be coming on named Jada Collins. She used to be the voice of Ebony. She's a beautiful sister, brilliant psychologist, and just beautiful spirit and personality. She's going to be on some of our calls. But next week, I want people to be on because I'm going to introduce them to a brilliant sister named Makiba Walker, and she's going to be talking about technology and systems and how to make 2014 your greatest year ever. Then the following week, I've got someone else coming on teaching people techniques and strategies on how to use their computer to create income and non-performance money. That's a wonderful thing. Now, what else we got going this week?
Well, I'm going to make all of the announcements, Les, after Anita opens up the call. I'll be reminding them about Owner's Show and all of the various platinums that have the motivational days going on. We're on fire. All of us know we want to know why we lived and if we gave and if we're doing the things that you called us out tonight to do, Mr. Brown. I have to go drink a cup of water, then I'll do the announcement.
She's on fire. So we're going to open up the call, Les, and then we're going to tell everybody what's coming up, how they can stay connected. But you're on fire now. We need to open up the line so we can let some of the heat out. So that sounds good to you?
That sounds good to me. Tell them to bring it on and bring it correct. You got to step in here and be correct.
All right. Star 6 to unmute your line if you have a question or comment for Les.
All callers are muted. And may unmute themselves by pressing star 6.
Hey, Mr. Lesbrown, this is Courtney Johnson. How are you tonight? I love you.
I'm great and grateful.
I know you're great and grateful and absolutely on fire, and you are burning the airways. I can't even hold my phone. I love you. I love you. I love you. I thank you. And, you know, I'm with you each and every day.
Thank you so much, and keep in your prayers.
Thank you.
Les Brown, this is Eugene Mosley.
Hello, Eugene Mosley.
Mr. Les Brown, I spoke to you a couple weeks ago, but I neglected to say one thing. I told you I was writing that book called The Chosen Few, and it's the story, all the motivation comes from you. It's the story of the first group of African-American Marines in this country that just recently all received Congressional Gold Medals. There were about 500 of these African-American men. And when I complete this book, which I'm on the final leg of, I'm going to tell the story to the American people about how great these men were, because these are our heroes. The story needs to be told, how they can have patience, how we need to have patience in our lives so that we can do great things just as these people have done.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All the power to you, sir. Next person.
Les Brown, this is Katina Green calling from Nashville, Tennessee, and I just want to tell you thank you so much for pouring into us tonight, and I want to know how I can become a platinum speaker so I can find my voice and share it.
Good. Just email me at yes@lesbrown.com. Yes, I've got 8 slots left. yes@lesbrown.com, and I'll get back to you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
How you doing, Mr. Brown? This is Serge.
Hey, Serge. It's so great to hear your voice, my brother. I'm doing incredibly well.
Oh man, it was so powerful. You and Anita, how you doing, Anita? Y'all was just so powerful because I'm getting businesses to want to for you to come in and help them. I've been telling them all about you, and they want to speak to you. They want to know how you can help them with their business to grow. I've been telling them about you, man.
Well, thank you, sir. We can do that. Just connect with Nita Boo, and she'll tell you what to do. Who's the next person? Talk to me.
Winona Penn from Washington, D.C. Winona Penn from
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yes.
I hope I'm on. Mr. Les Brown, I raced home this evening by bus and train and got home just in time, a minute before 8 o'clock, actually a minute after 8 o'clock, and the first thing that I did was dial in and put in the code, and I knew that I was blessed. I said, I've got to get home in time for the Les Brown call in, and what a wonderful treat.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You're definitely on fire. I'm the lady who several weeks ago, before you went overseas again, I told you that I used to buy your cassette. So that lets you know how long I've been following you. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful, wonderful message, because everything that you've said in it is so true. And just the mere fact that we are not here God wants us to live, a fulfilling, prosperous, healthy life. Thank God. I'm over 60, but I've got good health, and I have recognized over the years that my health and good health is more valuable than any amount of money. But just the mere fact that you are stressing that we're put here to do more than just have material things in our own lives. We're put here to make a difference.
Yes.
So everything that you're saying about young people, my heart goes out to all these lost young people. I see them.
They're not lost because we're here. They're not lost. They're not lost. See, words are very powerful. Our words don't describe us. They create us. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto us. They will be found because we're here.
Thank you. That is so good to know. But my heart goes out to them, and thank you for saying that they're not lost, because I truly don't believe that they're lost, but they appear to have gone off track. They appear to be that way.
Absolutely.
They just don't have any idea how they're throwing their lives away. Their lives are so precious.
No, they don't know. And we were once there too. We were once young too, and dumb and young. We've all been there. Thank you so much.
And thank you.
I appreciate you.
God bless you.
Okay.
And good work. And I'll get off.
Okay, thank you. Hey, Nita, put the blockade thing out. I want to say something.
All callers are muted.
I believe, and let me be clear about this, I believe that all of our kids are reachable, teachable, and redeemable. But for the grace of God, there goes I. There are a lot of people that wrote me off. There are a lot of people who said, boy, you won't live to be 21. Because I was young, I was angry, I was dumb, and I made a lot of stupid decisions. I did a lot of stupid things. I did things that my mother did not raise me to do, and I'm not proud about that. I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that. And I can't unscramble those eggs. But what I can do, with the time that I have left, what I can do, with the things that I've learned, what I can do, with the gifts that God has blessed me with, is to train people, to help them to learn how to find their voice. Those who are ready. Jesus said, whosoever will, let him come. I'm only willing to work with the willing. I'm not interested in converting anybody. Jesus said, all power is in my hands. And he said, oh, by the way, the poor will always be among you. There's some people we will never reach. There's some people that will never hear my voice. I'm clear about that. Whosoever will, I will work with the willing. Those who can hear my voice in their minds, in their hearts, and in their spirit. And I say to you, we've got to stop saying our children are lost. They're not lost. No. Because we're here. We can see them. And it is our responsibility. We were born for such a time as this. We were born for this time. And if we work together, as I was doing today, here in Playa Vista in L.A., in a restaurant with some brothers and sisters, some brothers who, one guy had been shot 5 times, twice in the head, out of jail now, and ready to pay it forward. I say, my goal is to work with these men and women who've been written off, these men and women who threw their earlier life away, these men and women who want to redeem themselves, these men and women who only want another chance to become a gift rather than a liability, to make a difference rather than create problems. And if we work together, there's an old African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. If we're willing to turn to each other rather than on each other, I say that we can reduce the violence in Chicago. I say that we can reduce the carnage in Liberty City. I say that we can reduce the hopelessness in Detroit. I say that we can make a positive impact and create a spirit of optimism all across this country and around the world. I say that if we stand in our power, using our minds, being creative, using our voices, and collaborate and work together to create an achievement-driven culture, we can change the course of history. I believe that. I believe that with every cell in my body. I believe that, and until God takes my breath, I'm going to work to make that happen, to call forth those things that be not as though they were. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. Happy Veterans Day. God bless you. God bless your dream. Thank you, Nita. Thank you, Stacey.
Thank you, Les. Thank you so much. Those words were very powerful. We felt them, and we received them. Thank you for your words. Miss Stacey in Sprint, message, if you want to go ahead and give us the, let everybody know how we can stay connected throughout the week.
Definitely, Anita. Always a pleasure to be on. And I tell you, Mr. Brown has us all fired up tonight, that's for sure. So let's keep the momentum going and make sure that we stay connected. So you can start your week off on Sundays with Own Your Dream with Ona Brown Radio Show, and that's every Sunday night, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can call in the station live at 404-355-8699, or you can log on to www.860am.com. That's www.860am.com or www.onabrown.com. On Tuesdays, you can connect with 3 of our platinums, starting with Hot Soul Topics from the Soul Radio Show with Valerie and Parker, and that's every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can call in the show at 760-913-4115, or you can log on to blogtalkradio.com/Soul Topics. And for more information, visit www.arisebyvnp.com. There's the free Maximize Your Life coaching call with Mr. Wade Randolph, the More Guy, every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The dial-in number is 641-715-3300, and the access code is 799205#. And you can visit www.randolphunlimited.com for more information. And on the first and third Tuesdays, there's Heart Talk with Miss E. Join Evelyn Polk, a.k.a. the Heart Lady, on blogtalkradio.com/Heart Talk with Ms. MSE. And that's 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And the number you can dial into that show is 424-675-8303, or visit www.talktomisse.com. On Wednesdays, you can log on to a free coaching call with me, Stacey N.C. Grant, for I Think I Need a Coach Too, and that's my free Destiny Designer coaching session from 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You just have to register at I Think I Need a Coach Too, TOO.eventbrite.com. You can also have an opportunity to log on to www.businessbootcamp online with the one and only Sean B. Arnold. It's a free weekly telecall, and that's at 6 p.m. Pacific Time on Wednesdays. And then if you're really committed, you can hang out for Legal Biz Cafe with attorney Sean B. Arnold at 8 p.m. Pacific Time on Blog Talk Radio. You can also tune in to Trish Talks at www.intentionradio.com/Trish Talks at 7 p.m. Pacific Time on Wednesdays. Then on Thursdays, Show Up for Your Life free motivational call with the one and only Mr. Andy Enriquez. Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The dial-in number is 712-432-6100, PIN number 114431 #, or you can visit showupforyourlife.com. That's www.sufyl.com. You can also have one-on-one coaching with Miss Anita Hicks, our beautiful Anita Hicks. You can have that opportunity by logging on to www.anitahicks.com so that you can sign up for your complimentary session. The first 10 people will get that complimentary 30-minute session. And you can also visit AnitaHicks.com or email Anita at anitahicks.com. We also have an opportunity for you to stay connected with Les on Facebook by going to brown.les. That's brown.les. At Facebook, it has over 200 and I don't know where we are up to now, Anita. So many followers on Facebook, but that's where Les posts his daily message. And you can also go to his website, lesbrown.com, to get some free downloads and the opportunity to follow where Mr. Brown will be in the country. We are so appreciative for you tuning in, hearing these announcements, staying connected to our Platinum family, and living just like Les talked about today. Let's get to that last day and know that we've lived, we've given, and we have celebrated every moment of this thing called life. This is Stacey N.C. Grant signing off. Anita Boo, love you, and God bless everyone, and happy Veterans Day to all those who protect and serve.
Thank you so much, Miss Stacey N.C. Grant. Love you and appreciate you. As you can hear, tonight, everyone, Mr. Brown was on fire, and he has challenged you to give and to serve and to use your gift to help our young people and help the world be a better place. If you are interested in being a part of the Les Brown Platinum family, you can email me, Anita, that's ANITA, at Anita, ANITA, HICKS.com, and I will certainly let you know how you can join this family. We appreciate you so much for joining us tonight, and again, we cannot say it enough to all of our veterans who have served and who are continuing to serve and who is making this country a better place. We appreciate you, and we thank God for you and your service and commitment. Join us next week, everyone, and invite someone on the call each and every week. And I want to remind you, as I always do, never, ever give up on your dreams, because the world awaits your light, your authentic gift. God bless you all, and God bless your dreams. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night, everyone. Good night, Stacy.